Hello again, we're back and we're back with the single transferable vote, another proportional system. Now you'll remember that in the Westminster electoral system we have a number of problems. First of all, the outcome is not proportionate to the results cast, and so the votes cast, sorry, and so we have different systems that we deploy to try to compensate for that. We also have the simple observation that the winner is rarely, if ever, represented by the or supported by the majority, and so we have majoritarian systems that come in. We are now looking at the single transferable vote, which is a proportional system, and it is deployed in Northern Ireland. Now, you may remember from our work on the Westminster election that the Westminster electoral system, the national election, there are 18 MPs from Northern Ireland. Now, when it comes to returning representatives to the Northern Ireland Assembly, or the Stormont, we use those same 18 constituencies. But on this occasion, each of these constituencies here, be it West Tyrone, Mid Ulster, or indeed Belfast North, South East, or West, each of those constituencies returns 6 MPs. Each constituency has now 6 representatives that go and sit for West Tyrone or Mid Ulster and North Antrim. They go and sit in the Stormont. This is what it looks like. Now, I appreciate, sorry, it's truncated down here at the bottom, but you can see in your handout exactly how this plans out. What I do want to try to make clear here is the nature of these parties. Sinn Féin are Republicans. They are the political wing, or they were considered the political wing of the IRA. And the Social Democratic Liberal Party, sorry, is a little more moderate, but they're still profoundly or resolutely Republican. They want to cede from the UK and create a united Ireland. Over here, as the Union flag suggests, what we're looking at are unionist parties. They are not inclined to leave the Union. They want to remain stuck with Britain. So these are our Protestant unionist parties, and these are our Catholic Republican parties. And you're just never going to reconcile them. You can't square this circle. And as a result of which, we have a system that is designed to force them to work together. But of that, more later. How does it actually work? Now, this you need to know. Now, each constituency, as I said earlier, returns more than one representative. That's your standard STV model. In Northern Ireland specifically, it's 6. The voter has 1 vote. Okay, don't get that wrong. The voter has 1 vote. However, they have several preferences. In other words, you've got 1 vote, but it could go to one of a number of potential candidates that you will indicate on your ballot paper. So that's the second point that you need to know. We then say that there is a winning quota. In order to win representation, you need to cross a threshold of votes, and that is established by the Droop formula. Now, the Droop formula is a mathematical formula. You don't need to know what it is. It's in your books. It's on the internet if you really want to find out. But what you need to know is that using the Droop formula takes the number of seats, the number of votes cast, and it calculates a winning quota. And once you've achieved that winning quota, then your surplus votes, if you will, are reallocated. So you never quite know where your vote has gone. It might have gone to your first choice, it might have gone to your 4th choice. You honestly don't know, and there's a degree of electoral opacity in here that I shall bring up later. But the key point here, more than 1 representative. We've got large multi-member constituencies, 1 vote, but that vote comes with several preferences, so it might go in one of a number of different directions. We have a winning quota established by the Droop formula, and surplus votes are reallocated if necessary. Good news. Very few wasted votes. The chances are your vote will count for somebody. Unfortunately, you won't know whether it went to your first choice or your 6th choice. But that does give you much greater choice because, of course, each party will field numerous candidates. And so you get to pick and choose between those candidates, which is something that you don't get if you're using a closed list system. Closed list, remember, you're just voting for a party. Here you can vote across party lines. You can vote for moderates, you can vote for extremists. You will be able to vote for a number of different people within that party. The outcome is very proportionate. The outcome is very, very fair. And particularly in Northern Ireland, it's significant to point out that power is shared between the 4 main parties. It was deliberately designed that way, to force these various different groups to work together. However, it is quite confusing, and as a consequence of that, you've got more spoiled ballots. And then we have, perhaps the most telling point, the electoral opacity. It's not immediately clear how the result is generated or indeed where your vote went. And of course, in terms of our Westminster election, it also means that there is very, very unlikely to be an overall winner. Furthermore, we have a diluted relationship between the represented and the represented. That's a general feature of the proportionate systems. You either like it or lump it. Again, in solving one problem, we inadvertently create a different one. And we can see here how this has worked out. These are the Northern Ireland results across the years, and what's I suppose most interesting is comparing the share of the Assembly with the share of first choices. And you'll see that, broadly speaking, this is pretty fair. There seems to be a general correlation between the number of first choice votes that the party gets and their share in the Assembly. Again, you don't necessarily need to know how that outcome is achieved, other than to say that it's achieved by the Droop formula. Again, we can see here that no party has ever had complete control of Northern Ireland, and again, that's a good thing because it means that these people have to work together. And that's it. Now, there's going to be lots and lots of questions. In reality, that's about as much as you need to know. We'll discuss any further questions that you might have in class, and I look forward to those. I'll see you then. Bye now.